What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Phaithful Phanatics Show. I'm one half of your host, Dylan Davis. To my left today, my faithful co-host, Scotty. The Sixers, 6-2 over their last 8, 3-2 on the West Coast trip. Scotty, they come home for one game against the New York Knicks tonight at the Xfinity Mobile Arena before heading into the All-Star break. We're going to talk about that West Coast trip. We're going to preview a little bit of tonight's game and maybe its importance or lack of important feel, and then how we're feeling heading into the break. Tyrese Maxey representing the Sixers not only as an all-star starter, but competing in the three-point contest. So we can mess around with that a little bit or get into that on Friday's show, whatever you guys want to talk about today. But if you want to be interactive throughout today's show or any of our live streams, make sure to check us out on Twitter at DSM_media. Make sure to hit that follow button. And then if you want to be interactive, like I just mentioned, like you see the comments that I'm pulling up underneath Scotty on the screen here, make sure to check out the YouTube link specifically. It's in our link tree, in our bio over on Twitter. So make sure to subscribe, share, like, whatever you're going to do to help us out. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you. The Phillies have also reported pitchers and catchers have reported for the spring, man. We can talk about that a little bit. Nick Castellanos still on the roster. Some fans feel like the Phillies and Dave Dombrowski may be doing him a little sour, doing him wrong by not letting him find a new home, moving him, releasing him, whatever the case may be. But everyone needs to take into account that the Phillies still owe Nick Castellanos $20 million this year. So they're not just going to go out and say, here you go, Nick, we feel good. We're happy for you. Go find your new home, and we're going to eat that $20 million. They're going to try to find a suitor that'll at least take a couple million of the $20 million off the books. If no one's willing to, Costi, brother, you willing to part ways with your $20 million to go find your new home? But we're not just going to eat that so you can be happy and confident heading into the spring. But yeah, we got a fun show prepared, fun content prepared coming up, my man. Happy Wednesday, and what is going on?
Yes, sir. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, we're gonna try to find some some content out here after the NFL season concludes. Nonetheless, I was looking on Twitter. I'm not finding the.
I know. It says we're live, like we have a live video.
Yeah,
but
really weird.
I'm unable to share it for some reason. So if you are watching on X, just go to our page and click the live stream. But yeah, we'll figure that out soon.
Super weird. Yeah, that's what was throwing me off here to begin. But as long as they're able to view whatever, if it's streaming over there. But yeah, like Dylan said, head over to the YouTube channel. But no, I think it'll be an interesting show. We can talk about this West Coast trip for the Sixers and get into the big matchup tonight, like you said. Yeah, I don't know. I'm eager to talk to you about it. I kind of am not like one way or the other about the Sixers after that. I don't know. I'm interested to hear your thoughts and us kind of talk through it, and maybe I'll find out where I am with the Sixers right now.
Well, let me throw it to you this way. This West Coast trip, heading into it, right? But this is before the Pelicans game at home a week ago or so. You and I were talking about this 5-game West Coast trip and kind of what we were looking for. And there were a couple of barometer tests along the way. And then the trade deadline is approaching. And within, whether you agree with what the Sixers did or not, other teams also made moves. Other players were making moves. And you get the Clippers, but there's no James Harden. And you get the Warriors, and there's no Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and whatever else is going on over there.
Right.
You play the Trailblazers in the last game. Oh, well, Joel Embiid's not playing, and Quentin Grimes isn't playing, and Dominic Barlow's not playing, and Paul George is suspended. So over the course of 5 games, the Sixers either didn't have their full crew or played teams that were missing their stars. So what was leading into being a very exciting and tough, hard-nosed West Coast trip turned into just being kind of, do I feel like staying up till after midnight for these games type of territory? They finished 3-2.
Good point.
Yeah, I feel you. Like I'm not high on how they're coming home after the 5 games trip. I'm not low at all. Right? You went out there and had a positive record. The only moment you could point to, kind of the biggest barometer you did have, was that Lakers game in which you captured a lead heading into halftime. Joel was out of his mind in the first half. They had Luka and LeBron in their full course. So I know Luka gets hurt in that game, but you're playing, the stars to start. And then you blow it and you have all the turnover issues and you lose by 4. That's the one game where you look back and you're like, man, they could have been 4-1 if they just finished out the job there. They did play, the fullest, healthiest team, I guess, in that sense.
Yeah.
Chippy and Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks and Ken, everything that went on there, they pull out a win there. But yeah, I'm good. I think tonight is where we try to get back on track with the test.
Yeah, try to go get in the right direction going into the All-Star break. And yeah, I think the Phoenix game, the one you just mentioned, that's the one that impressed me the most. It was a gritty win on the road against a playoff caliber type of team. And yeah, I think to TR's point, I'll take 3-2 on that West Coast road trip. It's just always a caveat thrown in for me. Like you said, just missing pieces along the way, regardless of which side it is. It just kind of leaves me in this empty space, man. The Portland thing, right? If they just don't have that disgusting third quarter, you probably are okay with losing that game to end the road trip.
Give up fucking 49 points.
Give up 49, and then you look at like the season stat of them being like negative 234 points in the third quarter, which is just like, it's just insanity, right? There's some really high highs for this team, like Embiid's performances right now. Maxey is still scoring the ball. He is playmaking a little bit more this season. 3-point shooting's definitely down. You've had like a Barlow game against the Clippers. VJ's obviously showed us a bunch this season so far. But then you have the lows of the lows, and it's the third quarters, or it's the Grimes injury that forces Lowry into the lineup, or Grimes just not even playing consistently throughout the season. There's other lows as well, but it's like a balancing act. And I just want them to put some wins together where I can say this team can compete at the highest level.
Correct. And they were, right? To be fair, they had won 5 straight, but when you go back and look at it, like you're mentioning, you have a Pelicans win at home, and you have a Bucks win at home with there's no Giannis in that game, if my memory serves correct. The Kings at home, in which you almost lost, you almost blew it, in that third and fourth quarter. But I think that's a place we can start when looking at this team and kind of looking ahead for the postseason. Is that those third quarter woes, which has been a thing really for the last couple of years, but it's being emphasized right now.
This year, it's escalated.
That can't happen in a playoff game.
Yeah,
that has the potential to swing a game, swing a series, end your season type of deal, right? And I guess my question to start with what goes on in the third quarter is, what the hell is it, Scotty? Because it seemingly has nothing to do with who's available on the court.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's a game that the false starting 5 is in, that the big 3 is played in. It doesn't matter if Joel Embiid or Tyrese Maxey scored 27 in the first half. It doesn't matter if it's Portland, where you're missing basically What is it with the third quarter, and how much of it? I know this is like a cop-out for the players. Like, it's the NBA. How much does coaching and leadership have to do with getting you ready to go in a second half? But like I just mentioned, it doesn't matter if Joel's out there, Tyrese is out there, VJ's out there, Paul George is. How much of it falls back onto what they're doing in the locker room and why they come out flat?
Yeah, I think it all stems back to Nick Nurse, man, as weirdly as that sounds. And
it sounds like a cop-out, right? Like, let's just blame the coach because he's not giving a speech at hand. Like, no.
I don't remember the Toronto Raptors like playing the way the Sixers do, like an ISO heavy type of system where it's going to be Maxey at times, ISO, or it's going to be Embiid at times, right. ISO, when PG's in ISO, Oubre ISOs at times, VJ ISOs to end games. Like, I just don't remember it being like that in the Raptors team. I didn't watch all of their games, obviously. I'm not a Raptors fan, but it's weird to see it here with this Sixers team, and it almost feels very similar to what Doc Rivers was throwing out there. And it's just let those guys that go out there, they're talented, they can go and find their own shots. Let's go and let them play some free hoops out there. And I don't know if that's really the case. Like you said, that could just be a cop-out. But when you have the different lineups going out there each night, you have Embiid some nights, but you still struggle in the third quarter. It does seem like the other team's making adjustments at halftime, and the Sixers maybe are making the wrong adjustments, or they're not making any adjustments, right? They're just going out there and playing the same style of ball.
If I'm misremembering this, if I'm just misthinking this, look me in the face and tell me, Dylan, you're crazy, you're wrong. And it's a cop-out, and you're just putting too much blame on what the coach can or cannot do. But, man, every third quarter that I'm sitting on my couch and you can feel the wave coming, you can just see it, you can feel it in your bones, what's about to happen. And he takes an extra 3 to 5 possessions before getting involved and calling a timeout.
Yeah.
They could go into the third quarter with a 15-point lead at halftime, and Nick Nurse will not stand up until that game is down to 4 or 5.
Yeah.
The second that team comes out, and let's just say, I know it was only a 1-point game against the Trailblazers, but let's say the Trailblazers hit a 3 down 15. And then we turn the ball over. And then the Trailblazers get a dunk. And then we miss a quick shot. And then the Trailblazers get a 3. Get off your ass, get involved, and hurt and huddle the group, right?
Yeah.
No. He waits until that game is down to this, till the margin is this big. And I'm sure it's different. I'm sure it's not always like that. I'm sure there's a 5-point spurt, and he does get involved. But it just feels like you can feel it, and he does nothing about it. And the same joke, it's recycled.
Yeah, just over and over. And no, I do feel you there. The only thing I would say, man, because like, you know, as you try to work through it, you try to look for other reasons why, right? Like maybe non-coaching reasons. Because it's not that they're like bad in the third quarter. It's that they're like historically bad in the third quarters, right? Like they're beating the next worst team in the third quarter by negative 100 points. Like that's the spread between them being the worst and then the next worst team, which is insane. So like, is that all coaching? You know what I mean? Like I do, like, I don't know. It really could be, but I think about Embiid as well. Like he starts games really hot in the first quarter, comes out usually. If Embiid's having a night, he'll go out in that first quarter. He's probably going to get 10 or 12 points in that first quarter, which gets the Sixers really going, right? And then maybe in the third quarter, you go into halftime, you get all rested. But it happens when Embiid's not there. So it can't be just Embiid, like, you know, maybe getting a little rusty after halftime. You know, maybe the adrenaline goes down. You could maybe attribute it to that if he's playing in most of these situations. But that Portland collapse, that's insanity. I mean, it's hard to diagnose ultimately. I think the coach is always going to be the first one to get blamed in those situations.
And the only reason I pointed in his direction more today is because what you saw against Portland. And not that Portland's some really bad team. After the win against us, they're a game below 500, which feels out of place for a Trailblazers team, right? But it doesn't matter who's available and who's not for us. Like if it was a Joel pace type of thing, and coming out of the break, they try to run through Joel, and the shots aren't falling and it's sloppy, and that's what you can go back to and point to. Okay. Or if it was, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Joel's playing in the game or not. It doesn't matter if Paul George is suspended or not. It doesn't matter if Maxey's on a heater or not. Whatever grouping of 5 is out there, the Sixers fall apart in the third quarter. And it's gotten to a point where it's a talking point on a broadcast if they don't fall apart, if they do score in the third quarter. Like, oh my God, look at what they're doing. Guys, this is an NBA playoff team we're talking about.
Bro, and that's the thing tonight, right? We could have the best first half that we ever had. And we could feel so hyped going into halftime, maybe even with a double-digit lead. Maybe we could do that. Go into halftime and they'll come out and they will blow it immediately.
How many times have you and I have questioned, should we take Sixers game team total or Sixers first half team total? Because we've bitten in the ass by, they'll score 73 in the first half and we have like 114 and a half, and they won't score 115 points.
Yeah.
They'll come out in the third quarter and score 17 points and then 27 in the fourth quarter. Like it makes no sense. And while I was typing over here when you were talking, I was trying to think of so apparently the Heat did it last year, I believe, or maybe it's already this season, but the Miami Heat apparently scored 53 points in a single quarter. I was going to ask, like, 49's unfucking heard of for me.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they were hot. They hit
I
like
know,
8 three-pointers,
without a doubt.
sure.
What they hit 22 threes in the game. Like,
Yeah.
But still.
But it's just like, that's another thing.
In 12 minutes?
That's the other side of it as well, man. And, you know, at the end of the day, Jared McCain wasn't going to make a difference in this equation at the end of the day. I can admit that when it comes to three-point shooting.
Sure.
Like, they do not have enough three-point shooting. Like, when do they have nights like this? It relies on Maxey to hit 5 to 6 threes for them to have a 20-plus point three-point made type of game. And
yeah.
I don't
feel
know.
And to Pumper's point,
shooting,
and
man.
again, it's a rough day if me and Brian Pumper are in somewhat of a similar mindset. Not from his rebuild season comment, but the 18 minutes from Lowry, and to your point, right? If Jared McCain's a 76er, are they winning the trail? But no one's out here arguing.
Right.
The bottom line is, for the people that argued against it, oh, well, we had guard depth. Oh, really? Well, because Quentin Grimes is sick or something, Kyle Lowry just had to play almost 20 fucking minutes in an NBA game in 2026.
Yeah.
2 or 3 games ago, the Sixers made 5 threes in an NBA game. You see where, like, someone like that could help a little? Is changing a Trailblazers outcome? No, it's not. But it's just, that's where those things rub me the wrong way, because now you're getting a stripped down version of the Sixers, and it doesn't look pretty right now. Again, the Trailblazers just, man, like, anybody mad about that other than giving up 49 points in a quarter is a little silly to me. So Paul George is already suspended. Joel's out. Barlow's out. That's 3 starters. And then your 6th man and Quentin Grimes is sick. You're missing 3 starters and your 6th man in an NBA game on the road on the final. Like, anyone mad at a loss like that because it's quote unquote the Trailblazers, that's loser. That's loserish. But to lose 49 to what? 22 in the third quarter? Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those things, like, it's not an unacceptable loss. It's just a win that I want to have for me to, like, really believe in this team.
Yeah.
Like, and I know, like you said, all the people that are out, like,
no, I think that's silly. Can I tell you where I think I am on them?
Yeah.
I think as healthy as they can be, right? Like, a game like we all know what the variables need to be on the floor. But even without, like, a Paul George, even with just Joel playing the way he is, Maxey, Grimes, VJ, stuff like that, I think as constructed, this team is competitive enough to compete with damn near anybody. When I say compete, I mean be in almost every game.
Yeah.
So they have a chance. But do they have enough is where the question gets to. And I think a lot of people are on that road of no. Like, we'd be silly to think otherwise. But I think where I'm at is I'm just going to sit back and think that they have a chance on every single night, right? Because, like you mentioned, that Phoenix team's a playoff team out west, right? They're 11 games over 500?
That was a top win. Yeah, that was a good win.
That's a great win. The Lakers, obviously Luka gets hurt or whatever, but the Lakers, you could have won.
Yeah.
They're in every game they play.
They're shelled by Austin Reeves, though. You know, it's those, like, little things thrown in there. Like, we just should not, like, I don't know. There's got to be, like, a level of dignity for, like, a championship competitive caliber type of team, I guess. And I don't know, like, a 49-point quarter, like, somebody's got to look around in this situation and be like, yo, what the fuck? Like, if it's not Nick Nurse, it's got to be Maxey, right? Like, somebody's got to look around. It's just like that Hornets game. It's like, you don't have to win it, but the Trailblazers shouldn't score 135 points. You can lose that game. The 49-point, it's like just always these, like, asterisks. Like, Austin Reeves comes off the bench in a game where he's just returning from injury type shit and just drops 35 on us. Like, I do get it. Like some of the nights, like I remember that Lakers game early on in the season. Like LeBron's giving us his fucking best shot.
Right.
We've gotten like best shots from like a Kawhi Leonard. Like it's happened a couple times, man. I want them, and maybe it's something that we can establish after the All-Star break, but just like a baseline of competitive level night to night, because that's what it worries me. I do agree with you. I think game to game, they could beat anyone. If the playoffs were set up in a play-in type of situation throughout, like the NFL, win or go home, shit, they could fuck around and win the chance. Like, I do think they can get to that level at times.
But is the consistency going to be there? Yeah, that's the question. And
there's nights they come out, and I get it. It happens around the league, but it just seems to happen to us more often, where guys just come out and they just look like almost like zombies. Like I don't even know how to explain it. They just don't have the energy that you want to see in order to just be competitive in that said game. Matt says they're winning the. I want to believe it. I do, and I think after All-Star break, that's when we'll really start to see what the Sixers are as a whole. I think they've shown us really great signs. I think they've had the high of highs. They've beaten the Knicks twice this season. They've beaten the Celtics twice this season. They just got some big wins on the West. Like, I do agree with you overall. I do. I just want more. That's what it is. Like, I just want more. Just like at the trade deadline, I just want more because other teams are just getting more. I want more. But at the same time, when you have Embiid in there with Maxey, with VJ, those are your core three, in my opinion. Oubre's been playing pretty well of late as well. Yeah, I think they can compete, man. It's just
this is to Gene's point. I was going to make a joke. I'll do one better. I'll give you Dalen Terry. Like, I'm not out on the team. I'm not out. I'm not out on the players. When healthy, I think they can compete night in and night out. Just this organization, man, and like some of the fans defending what happened. Like, it's forget the Jeremy Kane trade. You didn't try to acquire anybody, Scotty, in a game where they were shorthanded the other night. I'm not even going to try to pronounce. I know who the player is, but I'm not going to try to butcher his name. Is it Beauchamp or Beauchamp?
Marshawn Beauchamp.
And he played pretty well, right? He was making plays in the first half. If he would have finished the dunk, if he would have hit a three, it would have looked a lot better. But like, this dude's playing 20 minutes for you. Can I ask you a question? Why did they sign Charles Bassey to two different 10-day contracts? What is Charles Bassey's even place on the roster? We have a guy named Patrick Baldwin Jr. who got in the game to play 2 minutes against the Trailblazers. Kyle Lowry had to play 18 minutes in 2026. So all those defending, they got 4 draft picks for Jared McCain, and it's okay. I'm out on the organization. I cannot stand what they put us in, what they put us through last week.
Yeah, I do agree.
But then what? No, why? How?
I just
Eric Gordon was enough. Eric Gordon was enough to get under the tax and sign Barlow.
Yeah. I don't.
Or do you mean like in the future? Or do you mean like their plan in the offseason is going to be to give Barlow a deal and the money would be allocated to him instead of going? I don't know. I'm just But my point is, man, forgetting the Jared McCain part of it.
It's not about McCain.
It's that you added nothing to where Beauchamp and Charles Bassey and Kyle Lowry have places on the roster.
Yeah.
So when you're sick or injured, these guys have to play. That's where I get frustrated with what took place last week. I know I'm backtracking here, but every trade deadline in the Joel Embiid era, they have added pieces. They have tried something. They've tried to do something star or multiple role players, or they need a backup guard, or they have tried. And in a season in which you're pretty healthy, Maxey's an all-star starter. The East is wide open, and this is what you did. And that's why I cannot stand it. So that's why I said at the deadline, man, I still have belief in if Joel Embiid stays healthy and Maxey keeps up, averaging 28, 29 a game and whatever. You get these VJ performances and these Kelly performances from time to time, and Paul George comes back and can fit back in, right? Doesn't need to take time to get reestablished. They have a chance. They have a decent chance. But as far as the organization, man, I think it's a fucking laughing stock. And like, if people let them get away with it, like, that's disgusting.
I think that's what it is. Like, I feel like the Sixers almost have to be like overly elite, and to that point, they had to add something to at the trade deadline, because they don't, as an organization, they don't deserve anything. The way the organization is ran, they do not deserve anything by the good graces of the basketball gods. So we need other stuff to help us get over that hump of the gods being against us, man.
No, again, I have no idea. All I'm saying is, like, I can go back and count on just off the top of my head of a trade deadline with Alec Burks, who became your sixth man, and Glenn Robinson as a swing, right? I can remember the George Hill deadline, and I think we brought in a big at that deadline too. Like, I'm not talking about the James Harden deadline. I'm not talking about any of that. And I know that's not what you're saying. I don't know what took place behind closed doors, but you find it hard pressed to believe that Darryl was making all these calls and was looking around the margins, and no one did any sort of business. There was no one on the market to make this team marginally better.
I agree, man. I just look at some of the other
I don't know either. I'm not throwing out a solution. I'm just saying there's always deals made at a deadline.
Yeah, and there was something out there the Sixers could have done, whether it's like maybe getting in on the back end of the Buddy Hield swap to Atlanta, and maybe you pull in Buddy Hield from that trade, bring him back to Philly. Like, I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there because that's how little it would have taken for me to be excited about it.
A little better, yeah.
Buddy Hield, I would have been excited about, and we already had that experiment. Like, that's how fucking nuts I am, and I still can't get around with this shit that happened at the trade deadline, man. It does not make sense to me, but I did want to ask you something off of that, and it kind of leads into tonight's game with the Knicks. And you look at the injury report, you got Joel Embiid questionable again. Obviously, the thought that I had thought before, talking to you, and you made sense as well, but was you could give him a little bit of extra rest with the All-Star break around the corner, but at the same time, this is a really important game. So how much does this game mean to you tonight, and how much does it mean for Joel Embiid to ultimately play in it? Like, does it speak to something maybe bigger than what we are thinking with him, or does it not mean that much in that sense to you? How are you looking at this?
For him to play tonight?
Like, how much does it mean for you to have him in the starting lineup tonight?
It matters
before the break.
It matters because, like we mentioned to start the show, when you were looking out west at those potential matchups, right? Kawhi and Harden, who were on a tear in LA. Steph, I know Jimmy just went down, but Steph, and then Luke and LeBron. It felt like there were barometer test, and then injuries, our injuries, all this stuff took place. And now I know there's no OG Anunoby already reported out tonight for New York. I don't know who else is on their injury report. It seems like that's it. And Deuce McBride's out as well. But as long as Joel is fine to go, like, this just shouldn't be, there's no reason to make this a typical load management type of night.
Yeah.
If there is a little sore, whatever, if there's that reason he didn't play in Portland, then don't play him tonight, and he gets the extra days. I'm not worried about tonight's game from that point of view. But you're looking for something, Sixers fans, to feel energized about. They have a chance to beat the Knicks 3 out of 4 times this year. It's the final time you play New York in the regular season. You beat them twice in the Garden. They beat you here. That third quarter we were talking about, we scored 13 in the third quarter last time we played the New York Knicks, and that's when they took the game over. We almost came back. It's a battle. And it's a battle I would like to win. You're heading into a long All-Star break. Let's take a positive moment heading into an extended break. And now we can sit around and think about all the hypotheticals over that course of time. So, I want my best team out there against their best team out there. Obviously, we're already down Paul George. They're down OG. I know Barlow's sick, whatever else is the case. I would like everybody to play tonight as long as they're able to. So, Yeah, this shouldn't just be a typical load management night for Joel. You're about to get 8 days of load management.
Because the Portland game, you can wrap your head around it. It's the last game of the 5-game West Coast trip. You've already secured an above 500 record on that West Coast trip. Maybe the percentages just were against him playing in that game and the risk and what it's worth ultimately. And maybe and hopefully they were resting him in that Portland game to make sure he's ready for this game against the Knicks, which is a little bit more important in conference. I'm with you. I would like to see him play tonight. Obviously, if he's ready to go, he should play tonight. He'll want to play tonight. It is a big game. I know, like maybe not all of us believe that they could get above the Knicks in the Eastern Conference standings, but it is possible. And these games do matter, and those types of things do matter.
Why not? Right? We're what 3.5 behind them.
34-20, and we're 30-23. So yeah. 3.5 games behind the Knicks right now. So this game obviously means a lot. And
a nice chance to be 2.5 behind them.
Could give you confidence going into the All-Star break as well, just getting that W over them. And you need to bounce back. You don't want to go into the All-Star break 2 losses in a row, obviously. So, yeah, I think the other night you could work your head around, sitting Embiid and then also Barlow and Grimes being out with illness. But tonight, you still have Barlow and Grimes questionable with illness.
Right.
If they can't go, then I would imagine Embiid's gonna go. It shouldn't be determined like that,
Right, right. But if you know that Barlow and Grimes go to shoot or whatever, maybe they don't even go to shoot around. They're trying whatever. They're out because they're sick or whatever's going on, and you're already down the PG suspension. If you decide that Joel's out tonight,
you're throwing this game.
You're forfeiting the game essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If Grimes and Barlow are in, maybe you do.
You're talking about 3 starters and a 6th man again, and this isn't the Trailblazers out west.
Exactly.
This is the Knicks on national television at home before the break.
And do you want to give the Knicks the Knicks have won 8 out of their last 10? They've been playing some great basketball. They've been working defensive. Do you want to give them confidence going forward? I don't know, man. I don't know what the Sixers organization, the leaders there. That's the problem. I don't know how they're thinking. Because, we want them to go out and get this W tonight against the New York Knicks. But does the organization believe in them to go out and get the W tonight against the New York Knicks? Because that's where my mind goes with the way the trade deadline was handled. I don't know. I want to see them out there tonight, and hopefully there's nothing serious with Embiid.
I don't think so, bro.
Please, make some effort to get better in the third quarter, right? I don't know, what would be a step forward in third quarter production? What? I guess it would take multiple games, right? Because if it just happens one game, it's just a one-off. But
yeah, I mean, it's going to take. Honestly, it's going to take a lot of convincing. It's going to take where
the season.
It's going to take where the lows become so rare. By March, you forget that this was even a thing. Look, there's going to be bad quarters throughout what you would hope there's not bad quarters, but throughout 4 quarters, added up. You're going to find one here and there that's bad. It's just alarming that it's constantly
the third. Yeah.
And then I don't know what the numbers are to this date now, but if you remember the first month of the season, they were historically bad in the third and then historically great in the fourth. And it's man, I'm cool with coming right around here. There's no need. There's no
the
fucking
extremes.
need. It's not understandable how they are that bad. They can't shoot in the third quarter. They turn the ball over in the third quarter. They forget how to defend in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Everyone looks like their energy dipped down the third quarter. And now here we go. It's the last Knicks game, bro. We scored 13 in that third quarter. And then I forget what we outscored them in the fourth and almost had a chance to win it at the end. Obviously, there was whatever. There's just no need to do that in the third quarter. You can't lose a quarter 35-13.
Yeah, it's just malpractice. It's it's that low of low. Yeah, we outscored the Knicks 32-22 in the fourth.
Correct.
30-26 in the second, 34-34 in the first. It's just the third quarter, 30-13 Knicks. You literally lost the game in the third quarter.
Sure
like
did.
that's what it
and
comes
that's
down
what I'm
to.
talking about. And that was kind of the bigger picture. And this wasn't just, we're pointing to the Knicks and Trailblazers game. This is a common thread with this team. And if you have a quarter like that in a playoff game that can swing a game, change a series, end your season. And I do not want that to be a theme for this team, man. But I think he plays tonight. I agree with Kent. And you think they win tonight? How are you feeling? Like, obviously, I feel like every time we say this, we're like, yeah, I think they win tonight because we're hopeful and we're fans. But honestly, like, you think they win this game tonight?
I think if Embiid's in, I think they'll win. The Knicks are on a back-to-back. It's almost like, they should.
Overtime last night.
They should win. Like, at home, if Embiid's playing, if Grimes and Barlow are out, that obviously dwindles the depth a good bit. So that makes you a little bit skeptical. Corporate Pumper says we get him blown out.
I mean, that's silly, right? Like, there he is. I mean,
it's silly, but it is possible, man. Like, it is possible. And I hate to say that. But it will be disgusting if I watch a New York Knicks team on the tail end of a back-to-back come out and outwork the Sixers.
Out-hustle you, outwork you, play harder defense, get
there's
out transition.
A world where they dominate us on the glass. Mitchell Robinson comes in and has 10 offensive rebounds, and then they somehow go on a mean streak. They shouldn't. They shouldn't.
No, you let that comment get in your head. I can see it. Don't allow it. They're not. Do they win?
They just do this in these spots a lot. Like right before the All-Star break, a way to make you just feel so disgusted by them. The Sixers go lower than you can expect. Like, that's what I'm realizing.
Especially, because, like, if they lose tonight, and not just lose, like, do get beat up, right, and outworked, and then, like, Maxey goes to, like, the finals of the three-point contest, and it's, like, obviously you're excited, like, that's so cool, but you're like, oh, yeah, like, nice, man. Like, good for you.
Now you're hitting.
Yeah. Now, whereas if you beat the Knicks tonight, now everything's positive.
You can have fun at the All-Star
right? Yeah, like, let Maxey go out there and shine. Hell yeah. Like, yeah.
Come on.
I understand you. But before we get out of here, I know this isn't really what people, at least the chatter, probably want to talk about, but we have to start turning the page.
Comments.
Can't just talk Sixers every day on the show. Pitchers and catchers. I saw Bryce Stott down there. Some guys down in Clearwater, man.
You're buying back in.
No. I don't know.
You have to.
Yeah, well, for baseball season, like, even if your team's not good, you get excited for spring training and, like,
that's fair.
Days awesome across MLB.
Warm weather's coming.
Yeah, like, the vibes get higher for it. I listen to people outside of this city still talk about the Phillies and the NL East, and it's vastly different than the people within and myself are feeling right now.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many people I've seen clips of breaking down divisions in baseball and, talking about it, that still have the Phillies winning this division outright. And if they don't, they lose it by a game, and they're the first wild card, and how good of a team this still is, and how, in the NL, they were the Dodgers' toughest out. And it's like we want so much change that we didn't get. It feels like they're a step, like they've dropped. Yeah. When in reality, no, they haven't dropped, right? Like they're not so much worse than they were last year. They won 96 games last year, guys. And it's just, they obviously didn't do enough, and you missed out on Bo Bichette the way we missed out on Bo Bichette. Yeah. You're not feeling really positive about this team. I'm just trying to, over the coming weeks, kind of wrap my head around what I think of this team and where I think they can get to.
Yeah.
I think that's where you're wrong. They don't.
I think it's what you just discussed. Like, I think with the roster they have, they can go and they can probably win the NL East. Like, they can win their division again. They won it last year, right? Like, they can do that again. I don't think that's like impossible by any means. I think they should be a favorite in that regard. It's just that it doesn't matter. to the Philly fans anymore.
Correct.
Whereas maybe
Correct.
to national fans, winning your division does matter, and it should matter. Winning our division in football should matter. Winning the NFC East consecutive years, it should matter. But our expectations are so high on the Eagles that we don't give a fuck about it. Like to that point. And I think with the Phillies, it's to that. It's like we can win the division, but have we made those improvements that will get us back
Over
to the
the hump.
World Series, over the hump to win the World Series? But once again, it's like we discussed when these situations were happening, kind of to bring ourselves back. It's almost like not a matter of like the role player stepping up in the playoffs, in this situation.
Correct.
Your big bats have to turn the corner themselves.
Right. And we feel right. And people are in the mindset of, oh, well, that's not going to happen. They've proven that to you.
Right.
And you 1000%
can't happen until it happens, right?
There's
Like
no evidence of the other side of it. But it's like, yeah, if Bryce and Schwarber do Bryce and Schwarber things in 2 playoff series, they are back where
what are some things they like? And I know this is very early, but what are some things that you'll be looking for? Like, what are some signs that, yes, like Bryce is playing at a higher level, or is there just no way of like forecasting this? Maybe
there's not because
summer.
I mean, dude, brother, Kyle Schwarber could have won National League MVP
candidate
last year.
Yeah.
And it did. And now don't get me wrong, he actually had a few major hits in the postseason, right?
Yeah,
Dodger Stadium hit 800 feet, right? So it's like he's not at the bottom of the list of the big names that have to show up, but it's tough because there is really nothing that can happen. There's nothing that can start the season in April. There's nothing in June. There's nothing in August that's going to change people's minds. The only thing I ask, right? And I know Pumper, other people aren't going to do it. And when things are going bad and they're not playing well, we're going to be on here and we're going to be talking about it and ripping them. When they are playing well, we're going to talk about it and talking highly of them. That's just what I'm asking you to do. Like, I promise I can't deal with they're on an 8-game win streak.
Yeah.
But, well, it doesn't matter because they do this every year. Brother, it's September. It's July. I can't control time. I can't push this to October.
I feel you.
They're playing good. They're playing bad. Talk about it as it's happening. Overreact, underreact. It doesn't matter. But don't just dismiss everything that goes on this season because then that's just not being a fan anymore. You know what? At that point, none of it matters. And then just don't watch. Don't watch any of the 162. Don't care about the 162. Check the standings in October and then circle back around. But
he says we need to rebuild. I mean, that's
I'll say this, man. Here's the message I'll wrap the show up with.
Yeah,
I remember saying this to you a year ago, heading into the postseason, where we feel like we have this hole. Oh, we have a hole in center field, or we have a hole in left field, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, bro, I remember getting to an NLCS and thinking we were going to win the World Series with Christian Pache and Johan Rojas playing left field and center field. Do you guys remember? We were still confident. So now, does it are we kind of just winging it that Adolis Garcia bounce back? Of course we are. Are we hoping that Justin Crawford just steps right? Of course we are. I understand it's a lot to look at and a lot to think about, but if you thought they were going to win a World Series with Pache playing in left, and did they have Johan Duran closing for them just all last year? No, they didn't. He's here. Brad Keller is here. Alvarado is not. So they still have a very, 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 very good baseball team. Appreciate you. But I don't know where to go after that.
Yeah, that one threw me off, brother.
I don't know what to go with that.
A nice bubble butt.
Appreciate you. Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe for more bubble butt.
But just enjoy the season.
Good,
enjoy spring training. Their first spring training game, February 23rd.
It's one of those. This is one of those baselines that we have to set every once in a while as Philly fans. Oh my god. But it's just one of those. It's one of those times as we approach baseball season, just to remind Philly fans to enjoy the ride. Right, we get so caught up on the expectations of each team each year, and I do get it, like rightfully so to an extent. There is
like,
greatness.
This is where you're just. What are you talking about? This comment alone makes no sense.
Taiwan Walker.
I don't need to see any more of those comments.
Yeah, I feel you. That's just distracting, quite honestly.
Anywho, all right, man.
Whatever.
Let's wrap this up before Pumper takes
Get a
step
W
further.
tonight, man.
Something even crazier. What'd you say?
What's Sixers? Let's see. What's Sixers team total at? What are the books expecting from us?
I'll tell you what's crazy coming up while you're looking at that.
113.5 is minus 105. So,
if you're the Olympic, hockey started this morning.
Yeah.
And Italy plays Sweden in like a half hour. Dude, Italy's plus 5.5.
What?
Really? Yeah.
Plus 5.5, and they're that bad at hockey.
So here's what I've gathered. Right, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like, I don't know too many Italians playing in the NHL to begin with, but like covers has said every single roster player on Team Sweden is not only a current NHL player but an established one. They have 9 players with at least 40 points this season.
Damn.
Team Italy's only player with an NHL affiliation is goaltender Damian Clara, who played in 2 AHL games in 24-25. So it's like, at first I'm like, dude, I can get a hockey team plus 5.5.
I know. Then you draw back. Look, bro,
I might lose 9-0.
I tapped into the Finland Slovakia hockey match.
I'm already pissed about it. Yep.
I laid the over 5.5. I got it at plus money right at the start, and Finland was favored like minus 400 or more to beat this team, and Slovakia wins 4-1.
Yeah,
of course.
So
Finland couldn't give me anything.
No, I had anything else. What's the name?
And they had the NHL. They had 2 NHL players at least.
Yeah. All the articles, covers, Action Network, all I read was Finland minus 2.5, because that was the goal line. It wasn't even 1.5. It was Finland minus 2.5.
Right.
And then another one was Finland over 3.5 team total goals. Oh yeah, you keep your day job, guys. I mean, I get it. It's gambling things. It's whatever. But you're writing on 2 of the biggest networks that are out there. People read up on and look into for information, and you're like, you're that off. Like, you lose 4-1.
There's so many times, and maybe it's just my ego that kicks in when I do win bets.
Without a doubt.
And I just think, nah, that was me that picked that, in my mind. But all I can remember is, the times where I go to covers and I just go there to kind of check myself to see if maybe they agree or maybe are on the opposite
end. And they pull you in a different direction.
They pull me in a completely different direction. I end up losing the slip, and then I look at what I had and it was going to hit.
Yep.
And those are the only times I remember.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just like an ego thing.
You've probably gotten picks from an article before and they've won, and you don't really remember those. But I agree with you. It's frustrating, on any type of lean, on a college basketball lean. I'll have my thought, and I'm like, well, I'm not too knowledgeable of these 2 schools, so let me see if Covers or Action has any picks. And I go on. And like you said, it's that complete opposite. So now they're pulling me. If I had an over, they're saying hammer the under. So I'm like, oh, shit, I should stay away or whatever. And then I check the game and the over soars. And I either lose or stayed away. And it's like.
Not last night, though. Not that Duke.
No. So annoying, dude. And that's another thing we'll start talking about. Pumper, I don't know if you watch. Martian, I don't know if you watch college hoops, but I fucking love this time of year. I love March Madness, so we'll try to incorporate college hoops moving forward. I know there's so many games on every single day of the week, so it's hard to keep, entire tracks with everything. But Gonzaga pissed me off last night.
Why? What happened?
Well, the Gonzaga game, I should say. I just lost.
It was a total though, like an over.
Yeah, Washington State scores 21 in the first half, and all you listen on the broadcast is about how they just rain threes, and that's where they live and die. Dude, they shot like 2 of 6 in the first half from three. It's like where are they coming from, bro? This is when March begins, bro.
Yeah, it's time to lock the fuck in.
Yeah, this is when shit starts to.
Man,
to
don't get me started though, man. That Duke UNC game, one foul called in the second half.
Yeah, I know you weren't too happy.
Yeah, brother. But no, did you peep the other night? Kansas versus Arizona. It might have even been maybe not last night, but
yeah. By the way, that kid's a fraud.
Peterson, right?
Aaron
the one that sits out.
Aaron Peterson's. Look, it's hard to call him a fraud. Kid's probably making like $3 to $5 million on NIL money right now.
Right.
He's going to be the number one. He's number one, number two, wherever the fuck.
Yeah,
probably number one, right? The way that his head works, he's number one. Like there's no other way he's going.
Right.
Dude,
right.
I forget who he didn't play against Arizona. The number one team in the country came to Allen Fieldhouse the other night. He doesn't play at last minute, flu-like symptoms, right? So misses that game. He hasn't also played against Tennessee. It was Tennessee, Arizona. There's like 4 other games, dude. Michigan. I think Michigan. Like, I'd have to look, but
yeah,
bad.
It's weird how he doesn't appear in the bigger matchup.
Bro, and not only that, he's the first 18-year-old to be load managed. Dude, he only has 3 games this year when he playing over 30 plus minutes in a game.
Yeah, because
against BYU, he played the first half, didn't play the second half.
Time.
Yep.
Oh, he didn't play the whole second half.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I guess they were winning, but like still, it's weird, really weird to load manage at that age. I guess when money's
well, and
involved,
you know that's more so probably him, right? Like than anything else. It's Bill Stelfane over there, like, hey man, why don't you take a seat? You're gonna be the number 1 overall pick.
Exactly. Like, you got to.
So I think Mark Henry tweeted out the other night after that Arizona win. If Aaron Peterson starts to begin to like basketball and not money, Kansas is a Final Four team.
Yes, good luck.
But.
Good luck.
Whatever. But yeah, no, we'll talk more college hoops in the coming weeks.
We got some content coming over the next couple of weeks. We're going to try some different things. So
we do.
So
make sure to subscribe to all the YouTube channels, especially the DSM Philadelphia one we are available on right now. Twitter at DSM_media. And then you can also find us on TikTok. That's in our link tree as well. We're going to be dropping some of that content over on TikTok. So follow, subscribe, like, share, whatever you do. We appreciate the hell out of you. For myself, for Scotty, enjoy the rest of your day.
Peace, everybody.